Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Smart Mado Ajaja, the convener of Open Nigeria and Africa Unite, and the anchor of Nigeria Now at ONN and the Nightingale Radio International from Houston, Texas this morning. How are you all doing? I hope you had a great weekend and ready for the new week. I wish you the very best of the week and always. Thank you, my viewers from within Nigeria, across Africa, United States, and around the world. Yes, this is a follow up to my earlier broadcast on Donald Trump. And please, if you are just tuning in, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do so on YouTube and also on TikTok and Facebook. Follow us on YouTube at Nigeria Now on ONN. And then, like what we do, if you truly love what we do, we want global peace and global security. So we are not racists, we are not tribalists, we are not religious bigots. We want a free world where everybody will be equal in line with the dominion given to us by the Almighty. That was translated into basic human rights. The right to live, the right to choice, the right to freedom of expression, the right to freedom of association, the right to worship whatever you assume is God, and the right to self-determination. Yes, they are all basic human rights, entrenched in the United Nations Charter and constitutions around the world. And for me, and as an African, I know that it's entrenched in the African charters of human rights. Even if we have a serious human rights issue in that part of the world. Facebook or the TikTok has done it again, but do we care? No, we don't. So, well, what we are talking about today is about Donald Trump. Donald Trump, as we heard, to a crucial election in the United States. Americans must vote for dignity. Americans must vote for respect. The whole world looks up to the United States for leadership. And so the people of the United States, yes, I mean the Americans, must not disappoint the world. They must not disappoint themselves. They must not disappoint the new generation. They must not disappoint the unborn generations of Americans, by making a costly choice that could have some ominous implications on the future and the position of America in the world. Donald Trump has demonstrated immense failure of leadership in business and as president, one-term president of the United States. I think it would be a huge disaster bringing him back on board to continue destroying the United States from where he stopped. Yes, this is not about anything but about honor and dignity and respect for this country. This is not about anything but about improved racial relationship in this country. We don't want the United States to slide back into the Jim Crow era that she has escaped from and still managing to stabilize from that. We want a country where everybody will have free, fair, equal, unlimited, and unconditional access to opportunities. We want a country where nobody should be restricted to one kind of job that they call white job, black job, Asian job, Indian job, African job, and all that. A leader who is desirous of building a real country will not make costly mistakes, will not make costly statements that will denigrate other people, other citizens of the country where he is a leader. And you all can attest to that. We don't want to continue on the trajectory of this racial supremacist ideology that has not done the United States any good and will not do it any good now and in the foreseeable future. We must vote for access to opportunities. We must vote for an America that will continue to be respected, America that will do better than it has done in the past, America that will lead the true democratization of the United Nations. Yes, an America that will make that commitment for respect, to respect for all citizens and countries around the world. An America that will want to do fair business outside the shores of America. America that will rein in its corporations that go to Africa to exploit the resources there and give the people nothing but war and strife. America that will regulate how it does business with other people. America that will have respect for countries around the world as equals and not as police. That is the America that we should be voting for. Donald Trump does not have the temperament to lead this type of America. He does not. He has demonstrated it in business. He's a total business failure, a fraudster, and a man who has found guilty, who has been found guilty of that on 36 count charges. A man who is supposed to be behind bars, and putting that man as the president of the United States would be a moral albatross on the United States, and then that will weaken the hands of America in dealing with global justice. You see what I'm saying? So this is serious. This is a serious moral question. America is on trial. America will be put on trial on November 5th, 2024. So I believe that the Americans that I know will stand up. The Americans that I know will rise up to the occasion. The Americans that I know that want fair deal across the world will not allow the return of Donald Trump to wreck the country and diminish the stature, the global stature of the United States of America. America that will have respect for people who come from other places, knowing fully well that this country is a country of immigrants. Yes, America is a country of immigrants. For someone whose father emigrated to this place to be abusing and disrespecting immigrants and calling them derogatory names and telling the world that they eat cats in order to instigate hate against them, is not a man with the temperament that is needed to lead the diversity of America. Nobody should truly, in his or her right senses, unless you reason along that line of hate and racism, would want Donald Trump to be the president of the 21st century United States. So these are the issues at stake. All his policies, what he puts on the table that he's going to do in America is to make America white and not to make America great. So his rhetoric of making America great means make America white. And if you are an immigrant listening to me right now, please share this message. You know, if you are from anywhere, from China, from India, Russia, everywhere, Africa, that is here, please, in your best interest, and you have a voters registration card, you must sharpen them and be ready. Share this message, because the way things are going, and if we allow this man, don't be surprised that they will come up with a policy that will start indiscriminate deportation of the targeted immigrants that they don't want in this country. You don't want to be caught in that. So this is a very serious election for you, especially those who migrated from other parts of America. Donald Trump fails to recognize the fact, to remember that his father, his own father, immigrated into this country. Yes, from Germany, just as I came from Africa. He fails to understand too that some people who came here came to the United States to escape oppression at home, to escape abuse at home, including Europeans who came here, the earlier Europeans who came, and there's the slave traders who brought here. They wanted to find a new business, a new country. They came here, they met some people here. And they forced some people from Africa, millions of Africans were forced down here against their wishes. So where does he want to place those people? Why is it disrespecting those very strategic people who came here? Those who came brought their abilities, their competency, their knowledge from around the world. So you see the dangers of electing this man. He's a dangerous man that should never be allowed a second time to lead America down the drain. He will do that, and that is exactly what he's looking for. The world, according to what they told us, has become a global village. So if the world is a global village, we all can be wherever we want to be, as long as we are law abiding. But to come and single out immigrants as the people who are responsible for violence and downturn of the economy of the United States is like somebody who doesn't understand elementary economics. That people who come here contribute seriously to the development of the economy here. And for me, I am from Nigeria. I came here from Nigeria. In Nigeria, we don't eat cats, we don't eat pets. Pets are pets. But for you to generalize, to call immigrants are those eating pets, eating dogs, eating cats here in the United States, it's a demonstration of hate. Yes. And nobody should tolerate that. So I am reaching out to all those who from one area, one part of the world or the other are here, residing here legally, and they have voting rights to come and vote. Seriously, on November 5th, vote against darkness, vote against retardation, vote against retrogression, vote for dignity, vote for respect, vote for the fact that you live here and your children live here, vote for opportunities for your children, and then for them to expand the promise of America. And that's what the United States is all about. United States is a home to citizens from across the world. So one man and his group of people who reason like him must never be allowed to escalate this country and reduce it to the level where Nigeria is right now. I'm from Nigeria, and the disaster in Nigeria, the man behind the disaster right now in Nigeria is driven by the same type of mentality, the same type of mindset that drives Donald J. Trump. They buy votes, they rig elections, they use the armed forces to repress the people. And that is what Donald Trump, they are coupists. They want to take power inordinately, by all means and at all costs. Yes, that's the type of mindset that drives Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The same mindset that drives Donald Trump. So nobody, no American, really, from Democrats, Republicans, independents, Indians, Chinese, and everybody, regardless of your orientation, should allow a man like this, yes, on the saddle of leadership in the United States. He will wreck America like Bola Ahmed Tinubu has wrecked Nigeria. Nigeria is at a very dangerous stage in its history. The people have been repressed. Donald Trump, if given the opportunity, will repress and make a mincemeat of Americans here. Yes, in his desperate bid to advance, yes, the cause to whitening America. Yes, against the constitution of the country and against the vision of the founding fathers of this great land. So he must never be allowed to take charge of this country unless 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 the people of this country want the country to go down the drain the way Nigeria is going right now. So on November 5th, everybody should sharpen his or her votes to vote for honor, to vote for respect, to vote for dignity, to vote for progress, to vote for prosperity, to vote for peace and global security. Yes, that is what is needed. Donald Trump comes on board as president of the United States, the whole world will be on fire, worse than it is right now. He reasons the same way Benjamin Netanyahu reasons. He loves sledgehammers because he has no respect for anybody. And look at the mess the Middle East has been turned into, and it's going to get worse if, by mistake, Donald Trump is allowed to mount the saddle of leadership in the United States. He will set the world on fire. He will wreck the United States, and the United States will be reduced to a little banana republic, like Nigeria has been reduced now. Nigeria was positioned by accident to be the equivalent of United States right there in Africa. Look at what some people have done. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, before him was Buhari. So we don't want that trajectory. We don't want that hell to be visited on America, a country that we love so much. So if you are an American, white, black, Indian, Chinese, you must vote. Vote for progress. Vote against the darkness that Donald Trump envisions for this great land. Yes, it is time that the world will be led by a people who want peace and global security, and who can work with others to make this happen. So our earth that is already burning, so the fire burning the earth will be reversed. So we can repopulate our ecosystem and make the earth a place to live in. He doesn't believe in science. He doesn't believe in anything. You remember what happened when we were talking about COVID-19? He never believed that it was heredity. Under his watch, over 1 million Americans died within a space of 1 year. You don't want that. We don't want that. He doesn't care. People were given treatment that they did not need. People who were conscious were being intubated because of his lack of understanding of science. And he approved all that without questions and all that. Look at how many people have died. And look at what his disastrous actions has cost the world. Yes, everything is in shambles right now. The global economy is struggling and suffering. Hunger across, especially Africa. Yes, insecurity everywhere. You don't want that man a second time. You don't want that man a second time. To make America great, by his estimation, is to make America white. And we know that a whopping majority of white people don't want that. Yeah, I don't want to call him a name because Hitler started small and he got big and became a big global problem. We don't want a repeat of that. Yes, we want respect. We want dignity. We want progress. We want prosperity. We want peace everywhere in the land. America is too strategic, yes, to be in the hands of a man who does not believe in respect for other people. America is too strategic, and a lot, revolves around America. Global security, global peace. Yes, we want an America that will do better than it has been doing here, because there are concerns from people from other parts of the world. We want an America that will spearhead the democratization of the United Nations, so we can have a robust United Nations where people with different backgrounds can come together and design an action plan for peace and security in the world. So Americans will not be hated everywhere they go, in some places, especially in the Arab world. So Americans can go to anywhere and live in peace and enjoy, their outside United States visit and stuff like that. We don't want an America with a hammer in its hand, hammering down everybody. Donald Trump will make things work. He will exacerbate things and make how the people of the world see the United States worse. Yes, he doesn't believe because he's a racist. Racists are ignorant, and ignorance don't learn anything because they have these obnoxious ideas that they are better than the rest of the world. The world has grown so big. We have come a long way, and we must not allow those who cannot tolerate others to lead countries around the world, including Africa. Yes, we want an Africa that will be respected. We want an Africa that will never ever again be led by puppets. Yeah, imposed on the people by foreign interests, especially corporations from outside Africa who come into their countries to take raw materials, to take mineral resources, to create situations that will suck the best brains out of that continent to wherever they want them and leave the people there, poorer than ever before. We want an Africa, an America that will partner with Africa to engage them economically in a manner that will keep young Africans at home to develop their countries. Yes, that's what we want. We don't want the one that will be beating down on the world with a hammer, beating down Africa, keeping us as if we are these dark people, keeping us as if we are these people who have learning problems that we do not have. We want an America that will open up an opportunity for growth and true development. Yeah, true development in Africa, industrialization of Africa, and will create millions, if not billions, of employment. Africa has a population of nearly 1.5 billion people. Yes, mostly populated by the young people. Yes, over 75% of of the population of Africa are young people. Where are we going to keep them? They are dying across the Mediterranean. They trek from West Africa into Libya, into Morocco, where they are sold many times into slavery before some of them escape, get themselves into raft and balloon boats across the wild and very dangerous Mediterranean, and then die. I'm sure you are all aware of the hundreds of people, over 600 young Africans who died sometime last week in the Mediterranean in an attempt to cross into Italy and other parts of Europe. These are young children, the future of Africa, from a continent that has over 45% of the earth resources, escaping from the harsh economic conditions in their continent. Not because they don't have everything, but people come into that continent to steal and rob and loot everything in that continent. And then when they come, they are treated like trash in those countries. We don't want that. So we want a United States president that will understand this stamp problem from the roots of it, and then start with true African leaders to start addressing these issues. So our young people will be kept in Africa. People from America come and invest in the continent and still make profits instead of taking everything and leaving the place and people poorer than ever before. We want somebody who can do that. And I believe that the alternative to Donald Trump, who has a background, in all this, will be able to, start a discussion on how to get this whole thing done. Yes, so that is where the direction should be pointing. We should not get emotional, get angry about it. Let's talk about realities. And it will be a win-win situation for the rest of the world, that we minimize blood shedding, and we minimize accidents, we minimize the confrontation that lead to unnecessary armaments, and sales of dangerous weapons in countries where these resources are. And then it's also disgusting that for somebody like me who has a clear understanding of the problem of Africa, it's so annoying that Africa, with all these mineral and natural resources, is treated as a poor continent, not because it doesn't have all this, but because some people want to take them and then throw pittance at us as aid. Africa does not need aid. No, we don't need foreign aid. We don't need. We have everything. We need the trade. We need the wherewithal. We need an African mindset that can create jobs, do things, build refineries, build airports, build roads. It's disgusting to hear Chinese companies come to Africa to build roads for us. So where are our civil engineers, young people who go to university to study civil engineering, petroleum engineering, and electrical engineering? They are never given the opportunity to express themselves. It's either they away from the continent or they just stay there and die redundant. Yes. So let there be opportunity for growth. Let there be opportunity for our people to really bring about their creative ingenuity to be the best that they can be, and the world will be better for it. The conflicts around the world will be heavily minimized. The bloodshed will be reduced significantly, and respect will take the center stage for everything. The Almighty did not create us to be at war with one another. Everything that we have seen that has destroyed the world to where it is right now was the creation of man, creation of greedy people who have no respect for others. And that is where Donald J. Trump belongs. Any person who reasons, who has conscience, person who has respect for others will not put a man like this in power. It will lead to disaster. It will lead to catastrophic disasters, much worse than we already are seeing today. So it is a pleasure, as always, sharing with you, and I hope that as we count down, we begin to really, streamline and think about the best way forward for the United States. And one big step that we must take is to ensure that we vote against Donald Trump. We can vote for anything but Donald Trump as president of the United States. Goodbye, and I look forward to seeing you in my next broadcast.